here! I own this jet.
Everyone, back off now!
You know, I still get chills thinking back to that day on the flight from Dallas to Chicago. It was one of those moments where everything you think you know about people just crumbles right in front of you. And what rises up instead is this raw, unfiltered truth about power, prejudice, and payback that hits you like a gut punch. There I was, Dr. Alicia Thompson, sitting in seat 2A in first class, minding my own business, scrolling through emails on my tablet about the latest board meeting for Thompson Aviation Leasing, the company I'd built from scratch over 15 years, pouring my sweat and soul into leasing planes to airlines across the country. And suddenly this flight attendant, Sarah Mitchell, looms over me like she's the queen of the skies, her voice dripping with that fake politeness that barely hides the venom. "Excuse me, ma'am, but first class isn't for just anyone. This is for folks who actually paid their way, not trying to sneak in like it's some free ride," she says, loud enough for the whole cabin to hear. And before I can even respond, she snatches my boarding pass, gives it this dramatic once-over, and slaps it back against my chest so hard it echoes like a slap in the face, literally and figuratively, leaving me sitting there, stunned, my heart racing not from anger yet, but from that deep, familiar ache of being sized up and dismissed because of how I look. A black woman in a simple blazer, no flashy entourage, just me and my quiet confidence that apparently screamed imposter to her. I remember taking a slow breath, adjusting my watch, a subtle Patek Philippe that I'd earned after closing a massive deal last year, trying to stay calm, because I've been here before, underestimated in boardrooms, overlooked in negotiations. But this felt personal, like she was channeling some pent-up resentment from her own life, maybe years of dealing with entitled passengers or her own frustrations in a job where she felt invisible, and now she was projecting it all onto me, turning me into the villain in her little power play. "I have a first-class ticket," I said softly, handing it over again, but Sarah wasn't having it. Holds it up like evidence in a trial, squinting at it under the cabin light, then turns to the passengers with this theatrical flair. "Y'all, looks like we've got another one trying to game the system, slipping into seats they don't belong in." And oh man, the cabin erupts in whispers. The businessman next to me in 1C pulling out his phone, hovering over record, muttering something about entitlement these days, while an older white couple across the aisle nods along, the wife whispering to her husband, "They always pull this kind of nonsense, don't they?" And there it was, that undercurrent of bias, not just from Sarah, but rippling through the crowd, fueled by assumptions that had nothing to do with my ticket and everything to do with the color of my skin. The way I carried myself without apology. As the minutes ticked down to take off, 10 minutes, they said, Sarah flips her phone to selfie mode, starts live streaming the whole damn thing. "Hey everyone, it's your girl Sarah handling some first-class drama. This lady thinks she can just waltz in here like she owns the place." And the viewer count starts climbing, 20, 50, 100, people chiming in with laughing emojis, hateful comments, egging her on, while I sit there, reaching for my wallet where my platinum card glints in the light. But the businessman scoffs, probably fake or stolen, his words like little daggers, and I feel this knot in my stomach. Not fear exactly, but a weary frustration. Why does proving myself always feel like climbing a mountain others just stroll up? My phone buzzes. It's my assistant. "Board's waiting, but take your time," and I whisper back, "Might be late," handling a situation, all while Sarah calls security over her headset. "We need backup at gate 7B, passenger refusing to budge from a seat that's not hers." Her eyes locked on mine, smug, like she's won already, because in her world, people like me don't fly first class, don't run companies, don't hold the reins. Heavy boots thud up the jet bridge, and in come 2 security officers, big guys who don't even look at me before turning to Sarah. "What's the issue here?" And she points dramatically. She's in the wrong section. Won't move to economy, where she belongs. Probably thought she could scam her way up. Her voice laced with that practiced authority, like she'd done this dance before. Maybe to feel powerful in a job that ground her down day after day. Dealing with delays, rude flyers, low pay, and now channeling it into this confrontation. The lead officer, Ramirez, finally glances my way, sees my Hermes bag worth more than a used car but dismisses it as knockoff. "Ma'am, grab your things. We gotta resolve this quick." and I feel the heat rising in my cheeks. Not from embarrassment, but from the injustice of it all. How one person's snap judgment can snowball into this spectacle, passengers staring, some uncomfortable, others nodding along. The Latino woman behind me shifting in her seat like she knows this script too well, maybe. From her own experiences, but staying silent for now. I tap out quick text to my assistant for backup, to legal for advice, to the board chair who's like a mentor to me. Someone who'd pulled me up when I was starting out as a young engineer in aviation, fighting tooth and nail against the old boys club, and as the clock hits 8 minutes to takeoff, the businessman starts recording outright, narrating under his breath. This is what happens when folks try to cut corners in first class. His video hitting X with hashtags like seat scammer, retweets piling up, and Sarah winks at her stream, now at 150 viewers. See, security's got it handled. No one's above the rules. But inside, I'm boiling, thinking about all the times I'd swallowed this kind of treatment to keep the peace. But not today, not when I'm on a plane my company literally owns the lease for, a fact that's about to turn this whole mess on its head. Then comes the senior manager, Tom Hargrove, striding in with his clipboard and that air of importance, scanning the cabin. What's holding us up? And Sarah straightens up, all professional now. Passenger in the wrong seat, sir. Won't cooperate. But Tom looks at me, takes in my composed vibe, the expensive watch, and something flickers out maybe, but he doubles down. Documents look legit. But we've seen fakes. Need to verify centrally. His voice firm. But I sense his own insecurities. Years in the industry dealing with scams, pressure from higher-ups to keep flights on time, and now caught in this, fishing for reasons to justify the delay. My phone buzzes with confirmations legals on it. Board's alerted, and as the captain's voice crackles over the intercom about the holdup, Tom decides, "Ma'am, you'll have to deplane for checks. We can rebook you." And that's when I reach into my blazer, not for a fight, but for the card that changes everything, my fingers lingering on it, heart pounding with that mix of resolve and quiet fury. Because this isn't just about me, Anna Marie, it's about every person who's been profiled, dismissed, made to feel small. Mr. Hargrove, before you do something you can't take back, call the captain down here personally. I say, my voice steady, flipping the card face down on the tray, and he hesitates. I have authority here, but the tension's thick, phones recording everywhere, Sarah whispering to her stream, she's bluffing now, y'all. Viewer count soaring to 300, the businessman's video going viral in airport chats, comments flooding in like, just boot her already, or this is why airlines suck. The cabin's on edge, the black guy a few rows back standing up. Hey, I saw her ticket. It's real, this ain't right. But security snaps at him to sit, and the older woman chimes in. Finally, someone's enforcing the rules. We've all seen this before. Her words stinging, rooted maybe in her own fears of change, of a world where people like me rise to the top. But then the cockpit door opens, and out comes Captain Ellis. A veteran with that silver hair and no-nonsense stare, his eyes landing on me. Then the card as I lift my hand, and boom, recognition hits, his face paling like he's seen a ghost, because there it is, gold embossed, Thompson Aviation Leasing, Dr. Alicia Thompson, CEO and founder, primary contractor for Horizon Air's fleet. He freezes, then barks. Everyone back off from seat 2 and now. And the security guys step away, confused, Sarah's stream chat exploding with what just happened, while the Latino woman gasps, reading the card, whispering to the guy behind her, "Oh God, she's the boss, the plane's hers." And suddenly the power flips, like a scene from a movie where the underdog reveals they're the kingpin, and I feel this rush, not triumph exactly, but vindication, years of building my empire flashing before me. From late nights in garages tinkering with aircraft models to billion-dollar deals, all leading to this moment where one card shreds their assumptions. Captain Ellis approaches, voice low, Dr. Thompson, I am so sorry. This is a massive screw-up, but I hold his gaze. Captain, it's more than that, it's discrimination, plain and simple, documented for the world to see. Gesturing to the phones, the live streams, now thousands watching as the businessman zooms in, reading aloud. Thompson Aviation. Wait. They lease our planes? His chat going wild. Holy crap, she's their landlord basically. I pull up the app on my phone, showing the lease details for this exact jet. tail number matching, $2.5 million a year, and Sarah stammers. This can't be real. Anyone can fake a card. Her confidence cracking, maybe from fear of losing her job or realizing her bias just cost her everything. But I offer. Call our verification line 24/7 and Ellis dials, confirming it all while I lay out the violations, false accusations, live streaming without consent, ignoring protocols, all while I'm the one holding 35% of Horizon's fleet under lease, contracts worth $900 million, and oh, the second bombshell I slide out another card, Meridian Capital Partners, Managing Director, 14% stakeholder in Horizon's parent company, making me essentially their boss from afar. The cabin goes silent. Ellis on the phone with Regional Director Vance, who panics over speaker, Dr. Thompson? The Dr. Thompson? Jesus, what the hell happened? And I explain calmly, voice steady but edged with steel. Your attendant profiled me based on race, escalated without checks, broadcast it live violating every policy in your manual, which I've read cover to cover since we do business together. And Vance stutters apologies, but I push. Immediate actions. Fire Sarah for the discrimination and policy breach. Suspend Tom for failing protocols. Public apology admitting the bias. He agrees on the spot. Done. Within the hour. But I go deeper, demanding systemic fixes, mandatory bias training for all staff, revised verification to stop profiling, real-time reporting to execs, quarterly diversity reports tied to our contracts. Because this isn't just my fight. It's for every traveler who's felt that sting, the ones without my leverage. And as Sarah's escorted off, tears streaming, muttering, I was just doing my job. I feel a pang, not pity. But understanding that her actions stemmed from deeper issues, maybe internalized racism from her upbringing in a small town where differences bred suspicion, or burnout from the industry grinding her down. But that doesn't excuse it, and the passengers applaud, the businessman apologizing. I jump to conclusions. Won't happen again. His video now a tool for change. As we finally taxi out, 25 minutes late, I address the cabin. This delays on me in a way, but it's taught us all something. Discrimination thrives in silence. But accountability changes everything. And the applause builds, the older woman wiping tears. I was wrong. Thank you for showing grace. Her own regrets surfacing, perhaps from past silences in her life. 6 months on, Horizon's complaints dropped 75%. Our partnership grew by $400 million, and I founded the Equity in Flight Foundation, helping folks sue for travel bias. With cases stacking up, policies shifting industry-wide, even FAA guidelines inspired by what we called the Thompson turnaround. Sarah? She hit rock bottom, retail gigs, blaming woke culture, but eventually enrolled in diversity courses, admitting in an interview, Dr. Thompson could have ruined me forever, but she fixed the system instead. That humility broke me open. The businessman, Mark from 1C, now advocates, using his footage and trainings. The Latina woman, Elena, launched a consulting firm on inclusive travel. Even Officer Ramirez heads a new de-escalation unit, partnering with rights groups. But here's the thing that still nags at me. Sparking debates in my mind late at night was firing the whole team too harsh, or just the wake-up call needed to uproot systemic rot? Did I wield my power fairly, or did it border on revenge, even if cloaked in justice? Because in communities like ours, where HOAs manipulate rules out of petty jealousy, or neighbors clash over land rights fueled by old grudges, these lines blur. Power can heal or harm, and maybe that's why stories like this hit home. What do you think? Was the team's firing justified or overkill in the name of change? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share if you faced something similar in travel, work, or your neighborhood. Did you fight back or let it slide? Your stories matter. They could spark the next big shift. Hit subscribe if you want more real talk tales of turning tables with dignity, because sometimes the quietest voice echoes the loudest.